Welcome to Corner Store Conversations, the podcast powered by Ravamart, the corner store that never closes. I'm Alex Bernasconi, and here we step into the heart of community, creativity, and culture. Each week we sit down with artists, entrepreneurs, and everyday visionaries who are shaping their neighborhoods and building something bigger than themselves. This is like pulling up to your favorite corner store, where stories are exchanged, ideas spark, and community comes alive. Let's get into it. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Alex. Great. My name is David. I'm originally from the Philippines, and I moved to Vancouver in 2015 to pursue my nursing career.
Okay, why Vancouver, BC, correct?
Yes, Vancouver, BC. Because I have some relatives here, and they kind of like provided me the opportunity to further my education and my career here. So I couldn't turn it down, so I just said yes.
Yeah.
So here I am in Vancouver.
That's amazing. So how many years or how long have you been there?
About 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you love it?
I do actually. Like, I love being in Vancouver because everything is just accessible. Like, if you want to go to the beach, it's like 20 minutes drive. If you want to go to the mountains, it's about the same, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You have like access to almost anything. Mm-hmm. And transiting is also really, really like convenient as well.
Got it. Yeah. And when did you get into cinematography? Was it back in the Philippines or really in Canada?
Oh, in Vancouver. I just started end of 2023.
Wow, you just started?
Yes. But I've been wanting to do filming or making videos for the longest time, but I just didn't have, I guess, the courage to do so back then.
Yeah.
So, because I was mainly doing photography since 2016, and I just recently transitioned to making videos.
Okay, so what was the pivotal moment to make you want to transition into video or like give you the courage to do so?
I feel like it's funny because I feel like it's age.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, because nowadays social media is such a huge thing, and I keep seeing people in their 20s like living the best of their life, living the most of their life, mm-hmm. and documenting it, like their schooling, their experiences, and that made me realize like, hey, I'm already in my 30s.
Yeah.
I always wanted like to do the same, but I don't have the courage to do so because I was kind of like afraid what might people think when I started like kind of like filming myself. But like I said, I feel like age is also a factor because what am I doing with my life? Yeah. Why am I waiting when in fact I can just do this without like thinking about what other people's opinions might be? So I just, like in 2023, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start like filming, so that's how it began.
I love that so much. Has being Filipino in Canada helped shape your eye for film? Is there anything that's been inspirational that's helped change what you're looking at and how you want to tell stories?
I feel like there's not really much impact on being a Filipino, but it's more of like the things that I've seen, because like when I came to Canada, I love watching like YouTube videos on my spare time.
Yeah.
And there are so many instances wherein like I find this like small creator back then. Mm-hmm. And then I just started watching their kind of like journey when they were beginning or starting, and I got inspired to be like them because they just like continue to do what they love to do. Like they're passionate about what they're doing, even though, like I said, they're just starting. And then that kind of like made me kind of like decide like, oh, I want to like do the same as well. So that like really influenced me into like just to start.
Yeah. What's your favorite piece of like gear right now, or your favorite camera that you're working with?
Oh, right now it's my Sony FX30
Okay.
because like I don't know, it's my first ever kind of like piece of equipment that's like dedicated for videos. Like I don't have any background with filming and stuff, so I don't really know which one is what's the best. But at the time, it was kind of like the talk
Yeah.
when it comes to like cinematography and filming. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just get the same kind of camera,
Okay.
and I love it until now.
Great. So that's so funny because when you watch your videos, you feel, at least I feel like you've been doing this for years.
Oh, thank you.
So it's really inspiring to hear that you know, just started as of recent, not too long
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
and really started to get into it. How how do you even start to tell a story? You know, you have all these different stories through travel and different places around the world, but what inspires you to start with? Like, are you going into a project being like, okay, I know exactly kind of what stories or what pieces of the city I want to shoot first? Or are you doing it backwards where you're kind of just filming whatever looks beautiful to you yourself, and then you'll look back at the footage and put it together? Which direction?
I feel like it's the latter
Okay.
because, to be honest, like I don't think I'm good at storytelling. But if anything, I know that I have developed the eye to kind of like recognize a moment that I want to capture or like a scene that I want to capture because of my background in photography. I
Okay.
feel like I have trained my eye to kind of like see the beautiful things even in the mundane. So whenever I travel, I kind of like know which areas I want to go to, and then as I go to that place, I just like observe my surrounding, kind of like wait for a moment to capture something, or like place myself in like a scene that I would think that would make beautiful for a video. So
Hmm.
that's just how I go about like most of my stuff that I put on and put out. And yeah, I think with the editing, like piecing things together, it just comes with like repetition or practice over time, and then it kind of like just naturally be cohesive eventually as you like keep doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What is your favorite city, or what has been your favorite city to film?
Oh, my favorite city right now is probably Edinburgh and
Okay.
Copenhagen.
Wow. So what do you enjoy about those cities?
I enjoy the old architectures, like the buildings. I don't know, like for me, I find those really, really interesting. And in Copenhagen, their architectures are like really colorful and it translates really well for like the videos. Like no matter how you film it, like the angles and stuff, it's always gonna end up like beautiful. So that's why probably those are my favorite like cities at the moment.
Nice. And so correct me if I'm wrong. Did you start Busy Creatives?
I did, yeah.
Okay, can you give me a little bit more of a background of that story of starting that?
Okay, I feel like I'm very introverted, so
Yeah.
it's hard for me to kind of like reach out to people when it comes to like my passion, because in the beginning I was afraid of being judged, or people would say like, oh, like your ideas are like so cringy, why are you doing this? Because honestly, I experienced that with my own friends.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like stopped forcing my perspective on them, like, hey, this is actually not cringy, this is like beautiful, this is art. But I kind of like stopped doing that. And then one day I decided like, why I decided that, oh, maybe I should just try go out of my comfort zone post something in my Instagram story asking people like, hey, if there's any like creatives, like whether you're into photography, videography, or whatever creative direction you are in right now, like I would wanna connect with you. So I just put out a story asking people that, and I was fortunate enough that I've received like a few people that is interested in kind of like creating kind of like a community. So it started with like 6 people in the beginning, and then from there on it's just like snowballed, you know.
Crazy, because I saw you have a pretty big group now.
Yes, yeah, it was it was overwhelming, but yeah, I feel like in Vancouver there's so many creative and talented people. It's just that everyone is just doing their own thing. I feel like everyone is just waiting for someone to reach out, and then once there is that someone, they're like more than willing to kind of like, okay, let's join, and then, you know, be part of it. So that's how I kind of like started it.
That's great. What do you do like for the community? Do you guys come together and share ideas, or what do you guys do as a group, as a collective?
As a collective, we share ideas, we help each other when it comes to like, oh, how do you like edit this, or how do you like color grade, or if there's any like technical settings, like, oh, what should be my setting when taking photos or like making videos. We kind of like share knowledge, educate each other, and we also plan like photo walks or like some trips somewhere, creative trips. So anything like creative, actually, like, you know.
Do you have any plans? I mean, okay, first of all, let me ask, how long has that group been together?
It just turned 1 in July last month.
Wow, so you've already gotten a lot of traction in a year.
Yes.
Great. Do you plan on, you know, wanting it to be more of a global connection, or maybe, you know, a group in Seattle or Portland or any other, you know, closer cities?
Actually, that is kind of like the goal.
Okay.
Because like when we started the group, we realized how fun it was to kind of like connect with fellow creatives and create art all together, and doing a bunch of like collaborations and stuff. And previously, I think it was last year, I was able to connect with another group of creatives that is based in the US. So we all did like a road trip around Seattle area.
Yeah.
And it was really, really fun. And I thought about like, oh, maybe as a collective, as a local group in Vancouver, maybe BC Creatives can also take part in that collaboration in the US or like somewhere else. Because apparently some of my friends are saying like, oh, some people already know about BC Creatives in different parts of the US. So hopefully one day we can like kind of like bring it, you know, and then connect more with like-minded people.
Is that how you met Mark, or did you and Mark already know each other from the Philippines?
Oh no, I think I met Mark through Instagram. Yeah, because like we kind of like do the same thing. And then when I came across his like content, and I was like, yo, like I really like what you do. And then seeing that we're both from the Philippines, I kind of like got excited. I was like, yo, you're also from the Philippines, we're doing the same thing, and then we should connect, this and that. And yeah, that's how I kind of like got to know him.
That's pretty much how I got to know him too. I loved his work. And then I got excited because I'm originally from Seattle and he lives in Seattle. So that's how I messaged him as well. So another question is, do you have any, you know, ritual or mindset that you try to get into before filming, or you just kind of do everything from the heart?
I just do everything from the heart because, like I said, I'm kind of like spontaneous. I just like go out, just like observe my surroundings, or like people watch, and then kind of like just wait for a moment to unfold, and then kind of like just follow my instinct. And then if I see a moment that I would like to capture, then I just like point my camera and then shoot and something like that. But sometimes I want to be more intentional as well. But I find it like it's really kind of like hard to do sometimes because it's hard to kind of like pre-plan everything, especially if you're like filming out in the public or in like something can happen instantly. So I just usually just like go whatever I see, and then what I think is beautiful to capture, then that's how I usually work.
Awesome. One question I really loved, just because you have a unique perspective. I feel like anyone who, is from one country and has lived in another, you just see cultures and different things, differently. And so, how has travel really started to change the way that you see your own culture, and then as well as filming at home in Vancouver?
Culture wise, back home people are welcoming. They know, well, because like it's kind of like in our culture we're like very hospitable, very like warm people. So when it comes to creative direction, as long as you explain to them what you're doing, they would like welcome it with open arms and stuff. But in Vancouver, I have to be wary about like sometimes people's privacy, because for them it's like kind of like a really like big thing. So
Yeah.
I always like keep in mind, like if I'm filming in public, I have to make sure that what I'm filming will translate good intentions, not like kind of like invading their privacy as well. And so far it's been okay. Like in Vancouver, they're also like kind. I haven't experienced anyone like kind of like yelling at me when I'm
Yeah.
like filming. But it's different when I was filming in Europe. I
Oh,
think because
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like in Europe, it's kind of like different. Like it's like nobody sees you.
Yeah.
Like nobody cares, which is kind of great in what I do, because I can just like literally set up my camera in the middle of a busy street and nobody would care.
Yeah.
In Vancouver, people would look at you, kind of like wondering what you're doing, but at the same time, they would also just move on with their day.
Yeah.
Like I said, in Europe, it's more of like I have more freedom because you're like invincible to them or something.
What is it like in the US? I feel like they would care.
In the US, yeah, actually they do. When I was I think when I was in LA, I was taking photos, and then in the public, and then some people just like came up to you like, hey, take my
Oh
photos, or
my
like,
God.
what are you doing? And and I was like kind of like overwhelmed, because I'm not sure if they're gonna be mad or they're like genuinely curious. So it's very different in the US compared to like Canada or in the Europe, because in the US they're like very very like curious on what you do.
Yeah, and also in LA and New York, they're just used to filming. I feel like if you just put anything on a tripod in 2 seconds, you'll have someone come up being like, "Do you have a permit for it?"
Yeah, that
And
too,
you
yeah.
have to move it, and you're like, ah,
Yes.
"I'm not trying to
Yeah.
do anything huge." Like,
Actually, yeah, I experienced the same in Las Vegas. I mean, not directly to me, but to someone else. I was like filming somewhere in Las Vegas, and then I saw like a guy set up his tripod, and then security came, and the security was asking like, "Oh, you're not supposed to have like tripod if you don't have any permit, isn't that?" And in my head, I was like, "Oh, I'm solo traveling. I want myself in
yeah,
the
right.
frame, but also at the same time, you know." So which yeah, different places, different rules, I guess. So
Uh, and what, this is a loaded question, I guess, but what are your overall goals? Obviously, this is something that's kind of come up. You're going with the flow. You realize that you have this talent that you're going to keep going with and running at. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
in 5 years, I see myself still kind of like pursuing my creative passions, whatever it might be. I just want to like inspire more people to kind of like go out of their comfort zone, because like I said from the very beginning, it took me a while to kind of like have the courage to just like do it
Yeah.
and not care about other people's like whatever they're gonna think of me, or like their opinions and stuff, because I know that I wanted to do something creative when I was still like in my younger years, but I was always afraid of like getting judged or like getting called out like cringy or something like that. But yeah, I've seen so many like creative people who just started because they're passionate about something that they became successful towards the end just because they remain consistent in chasing their like dreams and goals. So I wanted to be kind of like the same thing that influences people to do the same as well.
That's a beautiful message. Thank you so much for sharing that. And just as a final question, I don't know if you saw like my short clips with other people, but I do always end with asking, do you have a favorite brand right now that you like to either wear? Or if you want, you can even talk about your favorite brand of cameras or anything like that, whatever you wish. But
yeah, of course. With brands, I do love clothes. So I would say my favorite brands right now is Uniqlo and Zara.
Okay.
Just because Uniqlo has some like really good like basic like tees. They're like very comfy. And with Zara, I just like the overall style. And then like the fitting, especially for like jackets. I always get my jackets from Zara just because like they look like stylish in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are like my top favorite like clothing brands at the moment.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks for hanging out at Corner Store Conversations. If today's talk inspired you, share it with a friend and keep the conversation going. For more everyday delights, follow along at Rava_Mart on Instagram and at Corner Store Conversations on YouTube. Until next time, stay creative, stay connected, and remember, the Corner Store is always open.